All right, so a lot of people have asked how to do a tire change. We're just going to show you the quick and easy way here. Really quickly, we're just going to go ahead and take our tool and we're going to turn this so that the axle block is not in the way and remove the valve core. Now, whenever you remove this, you can pull it all the way out in terms of unscrewing it, but don't let it just fly across the room. Let the air out slowly and then remove the valve core. Now, set this aside, and what you're going to do is pull out. If you don't have one of these, you can use a variety of methods, but the best thing to do is just buy this tool. It only costs something like 60 bucks. And it's a carting tool. You can find it at carting supply shops. They use it for tire changes. Of course, works great for ours as well. So whenever you're using this tool, place this to where it's near the rim, but not touching it. You don't want to touch the rim because, of course, that'll damage it and actually take off the paint. And make sure the axle block here in the center is rotated such that it actually goes on and does not slip off. And then just go ahead and press down, break the edge off, and push down on the tire to fully break that bead. Pull this up again, flip the tire over, and again, carefully guide this on. Take your time here, there's no reason to rush, and press the bead off. Now, again, remove the bead fully, reset the tool, and this can go away. Now, once you get it to this point, turn it over to where the cable is on the lower side and you have the valve pointing up. Push the tire down and you're going to see inside here, you're going to see a little channel. This channel is meant so that you can get the tire on and off easily. Take the tire and we're going to seat the tire down into this. Do you see how we've got it inside of that? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the bottom side, holding it in here, so we hold it in, and we put this at the top. Now, this gives us a good gap. We just take the tire, we pry it over, just prying it over just like this with our hand, grab the back of the rim just like this, and we just push down. Now, same thing on this side, just go ahead and get it inside of that groove on the bottom and push the tire off. Now, a little bit of armadillo's mess. We're going to grab a paper towel. Stuff wipes up nice and easily. So just clean up the tire, clean up your work surface. Just a quick wipe here, doesn't take but just a second with the paper towel. Going to do a good job of cleaning this up here today. Now, once you get this all nice and cleaned up, of course the rag here, once you get some armadillos on it, if you find a spot that's just a little clean, come in here, use it to polish that rim up and get that looking nice. Flip it over. Same thing on this side. Get all that dust and grime out of there with it. Makes a great cleaning agent. Grab one more dry paper towel here. Polish it all up. So this way, whenever you put it back on, looks nice and clean. Everything is ready to go. All right. Now, take your old tire, and you should recycle these. Armadillos washes out, just take a garden hose, rinse it really quickly. It takes 2 seconds. Take it to your local tire recycling shop, probably $2-3 bucks for a disposal fee. All right, so now we're gonna get a new tire. Chris, what did you want on this?
We're gonna try the Cloud.
So we have a Cloud. All right, so Chris is going to be riding the Cloud. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to save this wrapper because this is a really cool wrapper.
Thanks to Craft and Ryan for supplying us with a Cloud to test.
And carefully removing the super cool wrapper here. All right, shop swag. Okay, we're going to set this over here on the toolbox. And now I'm going to grab Armadillo's Bead Buddy. And what you want to do with Bead Buddy is to, right here on the edge of the rim, right here at this breakover point, just take, and what you're going to do, put just a little bit of Bead Buddy on here. A little bit goes a long way. And just rub it on there with your finger a little bit, so that when the tire has to break over this edge, it has a nice lubricated bit to slide on. Now, no need to get this edge, just again, this breakover point right here on both sides. So that's where all the lubrication needs to be. Just go ahead and put it right here on this edge.
Now, why are you doing this?
To lower the pressure when seating the tire. Now we're still going to use a seating tool, just because we want to make sure that there's no chance to distort the tire. If these tires are very thin, so just like a balloon, whenever you overinflate the tire and bring the pressure up quite high without it being in a constrained environment, it can actually distort the tire. Now if you distort the tire, obviously, and I had a tire here for a while to actually show, I don't have it on hand now. But if you distort the tire, it can actually lump up, and it feels like the board is wobbling when you ride. So it's really important to do this correctly. Lubrication helps, but in addition to lubrication, a strap, or better yet, a metal containment tool is really helpful. So we're going to go ahead and get this really nice and lubed just on that one edge. Don't need to lubricate anything but this single edge right here. And it just takes a bit of a pea-sized amount pretty much per side. Rub it around. If you use excess here, it'll just spray everywhere anyway, so no reason to do that. Simply wipe it off with a paper towel. And now again, take your hub, set it with the cable on the bottom side here. It's very important. And since this is a Burris tire, so it doesn't matter with the Hoosier, we've got some dots here, and we want to make sure that this is going to be aligned opposite of the valve stem. So this is a balancing thing. So first side, we're going to grab the tire like this right here with our hands. We're going to grab it just like this. And we're going to take and we're going to press down onto the hub. So we just press right onto the hub, okay? Now, this is where alignment matters. So we're going to make sure we have the orange dot directly across from this. And then we're just going to press this on just like that. Now, all we have to do is seat the bead. So we're going to grab our tool right here and feed this down into here. Going to loosen it up just a touch. And slide this down in. Fastest way to tighten this tool, if you have this particular one, and this is from Comet Karting, is to just pull this together by hand. Take this guy, run it like that a little bit. Once you get it in tight, go ahead and finish it up by hand. Okay, now that we have that on there, tuck your cable safely inside here. Make sure that it's not going to get hurt. All right, now grab our air here, and we're going to take and we're going to put this on there without a valve stem in there, okay, or valve core rather, and grab your towel. If you don't have a shop towel, it's always a good idea to have a shop towel. Super useful things. Go ahead and cover it. This keeps the stuff from flying anywhere. If there's anything that does fly out, shouldn't be, but if there is. 22 pounds for the first one. And looks like 32 pounds for the second bead. So that's a nice one. Oh, nope, that's just a false set. That first one, that was not actually set. So take a look always. You see how we have a place where it's not fully seated here. You'll see over here how it's fully set down against it, and over here it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, again, we're going to cover it. Continue to go till we hear that second, actually third, bang. Now again, examine it. You'll see that it's all the way fully seated. It was 48 PSI. Release. Put this aside. Now, strongly recommend at this point you grab a bottle of Armadillos. You're going to need to grab a knife. If you don't have a good sharp knife at hand, go grab one. And we're going to take and we're going to cut this just halfway to that line. So you'll see a first line. We cut this halfway to that line, not further, just halfway, using a nice sharp knife. Don't use a dull knife here. Cut that off. And we're then going to take this. We'll pull this out of this chamber first, may as well. Loosen it just a touch more. There we go. Now, install your Armadillos by putting that inside of there. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, and release. So just do this until you've got the entire bottle into the tire. Make sure all that sealant gets in there. All right. Set the bottle aside. Reinsert the valve core. There we go. Re-air the tire. And now here's something that a lot of people don't know, but whenever you first go to put a tire on, you really should go ahead and over-air this tire to about 40 psi for about 20 minutes, maybe an hour. And the reason being is that stretches the tire onto the rim and really makes it shape nicely. So I like to bring them up, like I said, about 40 psi. There we go. And we'll leave it like this for about an hour. And then we're going to deflate it back to riding pressure and go for a ride. So, of course, if you're anxious to get out there and ride, you don't have to do this, but it's an extra little step that does make it extra nice. Anyway, that's how we change a tire. Hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for joining us.